Hello, and welcome to the DX Corner for your weekly dose of DX. I'm Bill, AJ8B. I hope you had a restful weekend and you are taking advantage of all the DX that is out there. I received the following message from Janet, W8CAA. Janet wrote, quote, I was listening to the CQ Worldwide CW contest and was confused by some of the characters that were sent. For instance, one station who was in zone 11 sent his zone number as AA instead of the numbers 11. What was he doing? Well, that's a great question, Janet. He was using something called cut numbers. In Morse code, cut numbers are a shorthand representation of numbers using fewer characters or fewer elements than the full numeric code. They were developed to speed up transmission, especially in telegraphy and amateur radio. Here's how they work. Instead of sending the full Morse code for digits, which are usually 5 elements long, operators use letters that represent the number in sound or shape. The two most common that I encounter are A for the number 1, so da instead of da 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 da, and N for the letter 9, which would be da dit versus da 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 dit. So why use them? Well, they reduce radio transmission time. They're common in Q codes, signal reports, and contesting. You might ask, does sending A instead of 11 really make that much difference? Well, to me, probably not. But when a contester is logging 100 QSOs an hour for several hours, those few extra seconds per QSO can add up. So, that is what you were hearing. Thank you for the question. If you have a question, please email me at thedxmentor@gmail.com. If I can't answer it, I know people that can. The following DX information comes from Bernie, W3UR, editor of the Daily DX, the Weekly DX, and the How's DX column in QST. If you would like a free 2-week trial of the Daily DX, your only source of real-time DX information, just drop me a note at thedxmentor@gmail.com. Well, here's an update on one I was waiting for, Alpha 52 Alpha Alpha, Bhutan. Quote, against all hopes, propagation took a nosedive earlier this week, effectively wiping out the bands completely. Not a single QSO has been possible since then. Amateur radio was to have been the sole activity of this trip with no sightseeing time at all. But with the situation being what it is, instead of sitting here twiddling my thumbs, I've decided to switch the focus of this trip to sightseeing. And I imagine being in Bhutan, sightseeing would be amazing. This would mean calling off the Alpha 52 Alpha Alpha effort prematurely. I apologize to all hams who are looking forward to adding A5 Bhutan to their logbooks. I'm sorry to have had to make this difficult decision, but there were no other options open to me. Unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Till next time, 7-3 from Alpha 52 Alpha Alpha. You know, from time to time, I'll mention the challenge of insects and bugs and snakes and spiders and foreign governments and soldiers and weather. And then here's another one. Sunspots completely wiped out the band and he was high and dry. Tango Golf, Guatemala. Tango Golf 9 stroke Alpha 4 Charlie Alpha Fox 4 Charlie Zulu will be on the air holiday style December 7th to January 5th, mostly FT8, FT4 on 40 through 10 meters. He will upload his log to LOTW, EQSL, and Club Log. So if you need Guatemala, that's a good one. Charlie 5, the Gambia. Andre, Oscar November 7 Yankee Kilo, is once again active as Charlie 5 Yankee Kilo from Bahio in the Gambia. Listen for him on all modes on 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meters. And you can QSL his C5 operation to Oscar November 7 Yankee Kilo. From Botswana Alpha 2, we find Ben, Delta Bravo 2 Lima Sierra, is back in Botswana for about 10 days. He'll be on as Alpha 25 Lima Sierra on FT8 during daytime and may operate single sideband and CW during his nights. From Panama, Hotel Papa, we find Oscar Kilo 2 Whiskey X-Ray and as Hotel Papa 3 Oscar Kilo 2 Whiskey X-Ray QRV during the 160-meter contest. He and HP3 stroke Oscar Kilo 2 Yankee Lima will be there until December 10. Activity will be holiday style on CW and sideband with an emphasis on the low bands. QSL those operations via Italy 8 Kilo Hotel Charlie. From Sierra Leone, 9 Lima, we have Stephen, Golf 7 Boston Uniform X-Ray, who arrived in Freetown, Sierra Leone on November 24th. and is QRV until December 10th. He will be operating his 9 Lima 1 Boston Tango uniform with an IC 7300 and a G5 RV antenna. He is experiencing significant QRM on the low bands with occasional electrical blackouts. He hopes to install a solar power system during his trip and will operate holiday style when he has time. And you can QSL the Sierra Leone via his home call, which is Golf 7 Baker X-ray uniform. Charlie Nancy, Morocco. From December 11th to the 14th, the special call sign of Charlie November 25, Juliet India Mike, will be used to mark International Mountain Day, which falls on December 11th. This year also aligns with the UN's International Year for the Preservation of Glaciers, emphasizing glacier protection and the water supply. The occasion will feature both online and local events, including webinars and celebrations. Victor Kilo, Australia. This would be a good one to get the kids and the grandkids around the radio for. From now until December 24th, Victor Kilo 2 Sierra Alpha November Tango Alpha, which is VK2 Santa, will be on the air, allowing children and others to talk to the North Pole on various radio frequencies. Updated times and frequencies are available online by checking out QRZ.com and searching on Victor Kilo 2 Santa. Derek, Tango Lima 8 Golf Delta stroke Tango Juliet 1 Golf Delta. Quote, the next stage of my journey leads to Chad, where I will operate as Tango Tango 1 Golf Delta for approximately 3 weeks starting on December 1st. Radio activity will be in my free time as the primary purpose of this trip is pastoral and missionary support. You will be able to work Tango Tango 1 Golf Delta as soon as I arrive and get the station on the air. Thank you for your support, patience, and for following this journey across Central Africa. See you on the bands. You know, the TT used to be called the Terrible T's, Tango Lima, Tango Juliet, and Chad, Tango Tango. We have Tango 8 from Palau. Co. Juliet Alpha 1 Alpha Delta Tango plans to be active from Palau as Tango 88 Alpha Charlie until December 17th. Participation in the ARRL 10-meter contest is going to be attempted. His focus, however, will be on the low bands before and after the contest. QSL via LOTW. Paper QSLs will be available if needed. Send with enough return postage, which is typically $3 or $4 or more. Well, here's one of the terrible T's. Benin, Tango Yankee. Red, Delta Lima 1, Boston Uniform Golf will again be active from Cotonou, Benin, is Tango Yankee 5 Fox Radio until December 11th. He will be QRV on 80 through 10 meters, including 60 meters, Joe. CW and sideband using an IC 7300 and a G5 RV antenna. Participation in the CQ Worldwide DXCW contest, which was last weekend, will also be attempted. And you can QSL Bud via his home call, Delta Lima 1, Bravo Uniform Golf. Senegal, 6 Whiskey. Michael, Delta Oscar 5 Radio Quebec, will be active holiday style from Senegal as 6 Whiskey stroke Delta Oscar 5 Radio Quebec from December 4th to the 14th. He will try daily 1000 to 1800 UCC on the air between 10 meters and 40 meters sideband only using a 40-meter long high-end fed half-wave 100-watt antenna. Possibly an activation of one of the POTUS stroke WWFF parks nearby to the QTH. QSL information is not yet clear, and the 6 Whiskey licenses are very fresh in obtaining shortly before travel to Senegal. And as soon as we get the QSL information, you'll get it here. The DX Mentor features a new podcast episode this coming weekend, a discussion with Joe, W8GEX, offering tips and hints for DXers to get more into the logbook. Between Joe and the host, AJ8B, they have almost 100 years of chasing DX. Check it out and let me know what you think. If you want to follow all of the latest DX podcasts and YouTube releases, you should check out the DX Mentor Facebook page and subscribe to be kept up to date on all of the DX activities. So finally, I have a contest update. I know that the ARRL contest sheet is read elsewhere in this podcast, and the contests that I mention are sometimes redundant. However, there are a few contests that I have found to be especially useful for DXers who are trying to fill band slots or work all-time new ones. The next big contest on the horizon is the ARRL 10-meter contest. The objective of this contest is for amateurs worldwide to exchange QSO information with as many stations as possible on the 10-meter band. The dates are the second full weekend of December, the 13th and 14th, starting at 0 UTC Saturday, which in the East would be 7 p.m. Friday night, and continuing through 23:59 UTC Sunday, which would be 6:59 in the evening. Let me know if you participate in this contest and how you do. And to be quite honest, 3 or 4 years from now, this contest will be very difficult to work because sunspots will just aren't going to be there. Until next week, this is Bill, AJB saying 7-3, and thanks to my XYL Karen for her love and support. I hope to hear you in the pileups. Have a great DX week.